welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining. So before I get started, I just wanted to say it's been a year since my YouTube channel has been up. I was going to post a video 2 weeks ago, but you know, I got home from Creatortopia and whatnot. I was going to post a video 2 weeks ago, but I got home from Creatortopia and I was just really trying to get back into my routine of uploading and creating content and everything like that. So I didn't post a video, so I just wanted to say that it's been a year since my YouTube channel was made. Not necessarily since I was consistently uploading, but since it was made, which was February 6th of 2019, and now it is February 6th, 2020. So that's super, super exciting. So I just kind of wanted to say thank you. Before I start this video, if you want, go ahead, follow my Instagram so you can keep up to date on whatever it is I'm doing, or my Snapchat so you can also keep up to date with what I'm doing. I have been posting a lot more on my Snapchat story than I do on my Instagram story, but I try to like put Snapchat to Instagram or Instagram to Snapchat or whatever it may be. Obviously, if you're here, you might know about my TikTok, but if you don't know about my TikTok and you're new here, I make really dumb TikTok videos for no reason. So if you want to go watch those are great. So let's get on with it. So for those of you who are new here, well, you may not be in this video, but if you aren't new here, you might be in this video. I don't know. You've already read the title, I assume. Otherwise, I don't know why you would click on it. Maybe you just thought my face was pretty. I don't really know. So today we're just going to talk about my most memorable fan interactions that I can remember as of this moment, because there's a lot. There really is a lot, and I honestly always have so much fun anytime I run into someone who, not necessarily if they know who I am, but if they are a fan of me. And the reason I'm going to differentiate the two is because I do have a couple instances where people did know who I was, and they either didn't really say that they could have been a fan, or they, you know, honestly could have hated me but just were wanting to get their little clout or whatever it is that they wanted in life. Like, I really don't know. So I have some stories about those that I think are just kind of funny and a little bit memorable, of course. So to get started, we're going to talk about my very, very first interaction that I had. It's one that I'm never going to forget because she was super, super sweet. I wish I remembered her name. And I know I meet so many of you, but it's really hard to keep track of names. I do promise, I do remember faces. I'm horrible with names. So it's not that, you know, I don't remember, you know, her name or anything. I'm just horrible with names. Like, a lot of the friends that I have, I probably will forget their name, but I, you know their face. So, she was super, super sweet. She was, I think, about the same height as me, if not like a little taller from what I think I remember. And the first time I got recognized was actually not in Washington State, which is where I live now. It was actually in Texas when I went to go visit a friend of mine. So when I went down to Texas, I went to like this aquarium thing or whatever. We'll probably put up a video or photo or something, but we were looking at the stingrays, which we called sea pancakes, because we thought they were absolutely so cute, and it was a lot of fun. I actually really loved that trip. But anyway, getting back to it, and we were actually feeding them like fish or whatever, I think, and then I got done and I went to go wash my hands, and a girl came up to me. I saw her walking around the pool as well, so I just figured, you know, since she was coming up next to me, she was gonna wash her hands too, because after you get done with the animals, you have to wash your hands if you change to like a different animal, for example. So after she came over, she was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Hi," like, you know, not really expecting anything of it, because keep this in mind, this was the first time that I was getting recognized, so I, you know, hadn't approached it before. So she was like, "Hi," and then I was like, "Hi," and I didn't really know what to say, and she was just kind of like, "Are you Sammie?" And when I tell you, the smile on my face got so big. I looked at her and I was like, "Yeah, that's me." And she was like, you do TikTok, or you're from TikTok, right?" And And I was like, yeah? And she was like, yeah, you're Sammie Lewis. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And I thought she was so adorable and so cute, but I have no idea how old she was, because honestly, I can never tell nowadays like how old someone is. And one thing that I will say about her that I actually really liked is that she did actually know my name. She didn't know like what I did. I mean, I don't, like, you can recognize someone and you're like, oh, I know who they are. They're like an actor or an actress and like whatever. And it's cool to get recognized like in public, like I'm sure, but it just means a lot more when they know your name, because obviously they know about you. And you know, she didn't just recognize me as like the tea girl or like the girl who does like the tea videos. She knew me as like Sammie Lewis, like that's me. And it was just so special to me, and it was honestly just, it was great. So I absolutely love that. So if you're watching this, I remember you. Hi! I'm sorry I don't remember your name. I feel like it's like Anna or something, but I feel like that's a name that I always say to like go straight forward to because I don't remember. So this is one interaction where I don't know if he was a fan. He definitely knew who I was, but I don't know if he was a fan or he just wanted to like, I know he wanted to show his friends because that's what he asked. So I was in Hagen with my best friend, and this is actually the first time my best friend was with me when like she saw me getting recognized, because she flew with me to Texas in March, but she didn't get to see any of the interaction. Like it was just me and her, and the girl like left before I could like, you know, tell Scout about it. So Scout didn't really like believe me or whatever, but it was fine. So we were in Hagen and we were staying in line. I wasn't buying anything. I was with my best friend Scout and her little sister, and we were getting food or something. I don't even know. I didn't get anything. I was like standing in line with them, and the guy who was like, I think he was bagging the items. He wasn't the cashier. He was bagging the items. He kind of looked at me funny. And Scout like looked at me and she was like, okay, sometimes if I do get recognized, it is really hard to tell if someone is looking at me because they're just looking at me, or if they're looking at me because they know who I am, or if they're looking at me because maybe I'm cute. Like, I don't know. It's so hard to tell because sometimes no one says anything and they just stare at me. And I'm like, and I feel awkward sometimes. Sometimes I feel so awkward and I don't know what to do. Anyway, so I noticed that he's like full on staring at me at this point, like full on staring at me. And so I really just like don't know what to do. I don't know how to react, and Scout notices it immediately. And so she's like looking at me and like looking at, you know, getting everything finished or whatever. And then finally she's like about to pay and he's like, hey, yee. And I was like, okay, like he knows who I am. Like there's no way he doesn't know who I am at this point. And he starts pointing me out and he's like, you're on TikTok, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh my goodness, I know who you are. And I was like, oh, okay, like that's cool. Like, how are you? And I started talking to him and he's like, I'm good. And he just like completely, I don't know if he meant to, but he completely like ignored the conversation I was like trying to make, and he's like, can I get a picture? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I like got out of line and like he moved around so he could take a picture with me, and I felt so awkward because the other people that were standing in line and the other people around us were staring. And sometimes I do feel kind of awkward and then sometimes I don't, but the main reason that I do feel kind of awkward is because obviously like not everyone knows who I am, and I don't really like consider myself to be like famous or anything, but I like without fail, every time I have gone into a Target or every time I have gone into a Walmart or every time I go somewhere that's pretty busily like trafficked, I like someone knows who I am. And it's mainly probably because like a lot of people know like where I live in Washington, so I'm sure like if someone sees me they're like, oh yeah, like definitely. So it's like I can't help it, okay? Like every time I go to the mall, like there's always gonna be somebody. Like every time like this is like there's always going to be somebody, and I like can't help it, okay? You know, I'm so my fault. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So he basically like was talking about how he wanted to show his friends the picture and about how he like saw me and like this is not. I have never seen him since, and I've been in that Hagen before. I haven't seen him again. Maybe I have, maybe I just haven't been paying attention. He was kind of short. He was, I think, in high school. So I don't know, hope he's doing great. I hope everyone that I talk about in this video is doing great. But yeah, I couldn't really tell if he was like a fan of mine or if he just kind of wanted to like take a picture with me and then like show his people, show his friend, or if he just wanted to take a picture and like show his friends or whatever. And the reason why I say like you can still know who someone is but not necessarily be like a supporter or fan is kind of like, I don't even know how to explain, but I feel like to me there is a little bit of a difference. Like there's a lot of YouTubers that I know of, but I don't particularly, you know, watch on a daily basis, and I feel like unless I actually do like watch them from time to time, or I don't know, you can even talk about like actors and actresses too if you want to bring those people into the mix. Like if I like actually, you know, watch what they do, like then Jennifer Lawrence, for example, I am such a big fan of hers. I would love to meet her. She's super, super funny. I've like watched so many of her interviews. I feel like that's kind of an example of like being a fan, whereas, you know, like if you know who someone, I can't really think of anyone right now of where like I know who someone is but I don't watch their videos. I guess a lot of my friends, you could say, like an example is like I know who they are, I don't necessarily watch their videos. I mean I do, like, but I don't do it as like a fan. I don't really know how to explain. Anyway, back to it. So I went to VidCon last year in 2019, and let me tell you, it was so much fun. So VidCon 2019 was the very first event that I went to that had anything to do with social media or meet and greet or anything like that, because when Playlist was happening, that's when I was just starting to get into social media, so I didn't go to Playlist 2019. I kind of wish I did, but you know, at that time, like I didn't really know anyone and it was kind of hard. When I went to VidCon, I didn't really know anyone either. However, I had a lot of friends that I wanted to meet that I did, you know, make friends with, but I actually ended up making different friends than I originally thought I was going to be hanging out with, which is not a bad thing at all. It's just kind of, you know, I think things happen for a reason. I think life happens for a reason, and I think you kind of just have to go with it sometimes. So I had no hard feelings towards anyone who I didn't hang out with. If I didn't hang out with them consistently, there was no hard feelings. But VidCon 2019 was definitely one that I will forever remember, because I did my tea thing very publicly, very loudly. There was so much that was going on. I remember, I'll see if I can find a video. I think I know someone who has a video. So I remember I stood in a circle and there was a big circle of people, and I did my tea thing for all of the people, and there was a lot of people who heard afterwards. So eventually there was just like a big, I don't want to necessarily say mob, but there was a lot of you. There were a lot of you where I took pictures with, I did the tea thing for, I hung out with, I talked with, I just met so many different people, and it was great. It was fantastic. I met so many other creators. So many people were there. That was like, it was just so fantastic. And so if I have a video, I'll play it for you. Anyway, so I do also remember at VidCon, there was this one girl who always is in my lives, and she always comments on my videos, and I don't remember her name. I want to say it's like Lola or something. It's probably not, I'm so sorry. But she has or she has, I don't know if she still has the shoes, but she had sunflower shoes that looked exactly like my nails. And I know I have a picture of this, so I'll show it. And it was super, super cute. Like my nails and her shoes, they matched. And I was like, oh my goodness, so I thought that was like super, super cute and sweet. And I honestly loved VidCon. If you guys want me to talk more about VidCon, I totally can. VidCon is where I met so many people. Oh, also about VidCon, there was a Business Insider, I think. There was an article posted about me that I think I have somewhere, so if I can find that, I'll put that down in the description if you want to read that. There's like just Google my name, there's so many articles, but I know this particular one was an interview from VidCon. I wasn't the only one in the interview. I know there were more people in it, but I know I was mentioned, so just thought I would put that in there. I might do a story time of something with VidCon of how I met a certain someone. You probably know who she is because I've hung out with her. I've made videos with her before. So maybe during playlist, I'll ask if she wants to make a video with me and then I'll post it. We will see. So moving on to my next interaction, which is actually about the person I was talking about. Her name is Rylan Utah. She's super, super sweet. She is an absolute angel. She is gorgeous. She has so many things going for her. She's gonna be so successful in life. I know it, so I'm super excited. And I actually pretty sure I just texted her and she was the one that was texting me earlier in this video. Hi Rylan, love you. So anyway, so yes, me and Rylan. So I went to Florida right after VidCon for no reason. I wanted to go. So I went, and there were a whole bunch of other people, I guess, who were gonna be there as well, or found out that I was going at the same time, and they were like, oh, okay, or we all just happened to be there at the same time. I don't really know how it happened, but there were a few other creators who weren't located in Florida that wanted to do like a meet and greet and stuff. So a whole bunch of other creators that lived in Florida were part of the meet and greet as well as me and Rylan. So when we went to the meet and greet, there were so many of you. I didn't know there were gonna be that many people. If in all honesty, we made videos, we hung out, we did this and that. Like, it was absolutely great. So one thing I will talk about is there was I don't know how old he was, but he was at least, I want to say he was older than his mid-20s. I don't know, to be honest with you. At the time, I had just turned 19, and Rylan, I think, just turned 17. So me and Rylan, like, we're pretty young, and so this guy was like in his mid-20s, and he came up to both of us and was like, hey, can I get a picture? And I don't know if it was like his girlfriend's sister, whoever it was, but she was like ready to take the picture, and so he got in between us and we took a picture of it. I don't have that photo anywhere, so I'm sure if somebody knows who they are, like, I hope he's doing well, but I just remember that, like, wow, great, like, but I don't know, I thought that was like super, super funny. Okay. So another interaction that I really loved and enjoyed is when I was at the mall with my friend Scout, and we had finished shopping or whatever it is that we were doing, and we went into P.F. Chang's and we were sitting down and we were getting ready to eat. So as we had just gotten our food and we were just getting settled in, these two girls came up behind me and they were like, oh my goodness, can we get a photo? I really love you. I feel really awkward in those situations because I'm eating and I was with a friend at the time and it was just like kind of awkward, so I told them if you guys are still here when I'm done, I'd be more than happy to, you know, take a picture with you, but as of right now I would like to, you know, finish my food and stuff like that, because like it's just, I feel like it's kind of a respect type of thing on my end to, you know, finish what I'm doing first and then be able to focus all my time and attention on them, because I feel like it is kind of rude to whoever I was with to kind of just drop some things. There are certain circumstances where I will have no issue you know, taking a pause with what I'm doing just so I can talk to you guys, but at this particular moment, you know, I was in a restaurant, it was kind of busy in the restaurant, I didn't really want to like cause a scene until I was getting ready to leave. I did not know this at the time. So Scout was sitting just directly in front of me where you are now, and I was sitting right here, but behind me there were a whole bunch of tables, and these two girls had actually come from one of the tables that were behind me. So Scout, the entire time we're eating, didn't tell me that they were just staring, waiting for me to finish, from what I understood. It was these two girls with their family, who I assume, you know, is a pretty big like party of people, and she didn't really want to tell me because she knew it would like stress me out, because I didn't turn around and look. She knew that it would probably like kind of stress me out and I would probably feel bad about it, but because, you know, I feel like it is like a respect thing, like, you know, let me finish my food type thing and this and that. So then finally when we're getting done and we're getting ready, I turn around and I see them staring at me with their big faces and big smiles, and I was like so excited that they were still there. I went over to them. Their family was super sweet. Their family wanted to get a picture, and you know, I absolutely love when I see people that are just like so happy to see me, because then it makes me happy that I get to see them, and that just really cherishes my heart and makes me feel so good about myself because they feel good about themselves, and I feel like that's what it should always be about. So I was absolutely over the moon. So then finally, one of them, I think it was one of the parents, their mom or something, they said to me, you know, they really love you, they really look up to you, you really inspire them, and so I just want to thank you. And I like didn't know what to say. Let me tell you, okay, when a parent says that, that hits so different, okay? When a parent says that to you, because you make their kids so happy or whatever it is, that makes me feel like so good inside. Like, wow. So kind of to wrap up the video, because I don't want it to be too long, because I know I'm already hitting a big minute of footage. So we're gonna talk about Target. When I tell you, without fail, every time I'm in a Target, someone always knows who I am. I'm not kidding, okay? Like, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but toot, okay? There has never been a time that I have gone in Target and have not been recognized unless I'm in there for less than 10 minutes. Okay, if I am in Target for less than 10 minutes, then I most likely will not, because I go in, grab whatever it is I need to grab, and I like keep to myself in the aisles, and I don't walk around the main aisles. I go to self-checkout and then I leave. But if I'm browsing Target, which, if you know me and you know who I am, I browse Target a lot. So if I'm just browsing Target and I'm walking around, someone will see my face and I will say hi and I will say hello. So of course it's always in Target. My demographics are literally 90% female, so most of the time it's always girls. It's typically girls who are about a few years younger than me, whether they're anywhere from 13 to 16 or even 17. So they're always like somewhat younger than me. And I've gotten even younger girls, and most of the time it's like siblings of like their older siblings that they're with. I always love seeing, you know, people in Target. And you know, Target's a great place. Like, Target, if you want to sponsor me, like, this is not sponsored, but I won't stop you. So there was this one particular time that in Target, there was a Target employee that was like going around with like a cart, and I think he was like restocking shelves or whatever it is he was doing, I don't know, but I was a scout. I'm always a scout. When am I not with scout? I literally, after this video is done, I need to go to Scout's house in 15 minutes actually, so I need to wrap it up. So I was a scout and he had a cart or whatever it was, so he was passing by the aisle because we were looking for spices or something, we were baking, it doesn't matter. So he had his cart and I saw him pass the aisle, and then I saw him back up, and then I saw him go into the aisle, you know, and I saw him come into the aisle, and he comes up and he goes, "Hey girls, do you guys need any help with anything?" On his cart, he knocked, okay? I kid you not. I could not make that up. I could not make that up. I thought it was the funniest thing on the planet. So I looked at him dead in the eyes and I go, "Oh, no thank you." And he turns around, he walks away, and I laughed so hard, okay? It was the funniest thing. You had to be there, because as soon as he did like the second one, me and Scout like looked up and were like, no, there's no way he just did that. But he did, and I couldn't make it up. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever. Okay, the funniest thing ever. Like, I just, wow, like, it was great. It was so great. Like, I couldn't make it up. Obviously, like, he knew who I was. Don't know if he was a fan or not. I mean, I'm sure he was, but it was great. I hope he's doing well. I see him every so often in Target when I go in, but like, I don't say anything. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I seriously appreciate it. So, as I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching. I post new videos every single Thursday. I'm already scheduling the video up for next week, which I will be in playlist. It's probably going to be, from what I figured out, a day in the life of my life, and it's probably going to be the day before I leave. So you're definitely going to be seeing me pack for Florida. So that'll go up while I'm at playlist, and then when I'm in playlist, I'm definitely going to be filming a couple videos that I can post and get up for you guys. If you have any video ideas, please let me know. I have videos that I do want to do. I just need to put a little bit more time and preparation into them, so I do kind of need videos that I can do last minute. If you guys have any like stories that you guys want to hear from me, like, oh man, I've already done so many stories on this channel. Am I getting sick? What is that? So yeah, I don't want to make this too long, even though it's like already really long. Oh, by the way, you guys like my decorations? Yeah, I did that like a couple days ago, yesterday. No, not yesterday, I did it the day before. But yeah, so I think it's really cute. This is where I'm gonna be filming any like videos that don't involve me leaving the house, which will probably be like 75% of my videos. So yeah. Okay, bye guys, I love you. See you next week. Mwah!